Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Art and Culture Monday, and you're with me, Karen Blessing. And we're having a fantastic time because I'm not alone in studio. I'm joined by two, what's the word? I want to say professionals. What word? Thespians. Thank you. My producer ananiambia the hat, the big hat they can wear is thespians, and we are here to talk about the play that is called In Sickness and in Health. And without wasting much time, I want them to introduce themselves. One of them has been here before. The other one we've been chasing to be here. I am very happy. Debts have been paid. Son of man, you're keeping your word. A big to all of you for bringing me Saisi. Because I have looked for him. We have looked for him. So I want you guys to say hi. Let's start. Ladies first. Tuseme ladies first. Leila, please salimia watu wako home. And let's start this.
Good morning. My name is Leila Wangare, but I'm mostly known as Kare. I'm from Son of Man Production, but I'm also a chef, I'm a writer, and I'm a lover of music, and I also love art.
Ooh,
yes.
Okay. Yes, like I said, the heart is thespian, like creative on very many platforms. Karibu sana Leila.
Asante.
The last time you were here, we were talking about Before Drums of War.
We were talking about Paramore.
Yes, we were talking about
Yes,
Paramore.
yeah.
Karibu. Welcome back.
Asante
It
sana
is
Karen.
good to have you on or to have a different conversation.
Yeah.
And I am glad. And Paramore was amazing. Yes.
No.
So in case you missed it, this is where you should go and pay your debts to watching the next play that Son of Man is bringing our way. Saisi.
Yes.
Finally, brethren.
Finally. What can I say? Good things come to those who wait, right?
Yes, and good things have come to us.
Amen to that.
Yes.
My name is Saisi Karambuka,
Yes.
or Peter K. Saisi.
Yes.
I am an actor with Son of Man Productions. I am also a poet, a writer, and a lover of art, basically an artist all around.
Yeah. Exactly. That is the word I was looking for. Artist.
Yes.
Because you are artists in every way and form.
Yeah.
Yes, be it music, kupeleke Leila kitchen. She's still doing her thing.
It's an art.
Yes, it's an art in general. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
I want where do we start? Saisi.
Yes.
When did you get into theater and film and just performing arts?
My goodness. I have always been a performer.
Yeah.
I'd like to say ever since I was born. I think I came into the world kicking and crying, literally, and performing.
Yes.
So all through high school and primary and all that. But professionally, it's been 10 years now.
Yeah.
I started in 2013. I think professionally around 2014.
Yeah.
And here I am.
10 years is a long time.
I know.
In any game, 10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Recap in about a minute how 10 years have been.
Oof. Goodness.
Speak. Just one thing from every year.
One thing
Because
from...
it's a lot to ask. That's a loaded.
It's a loaded question.
Yes.
Indeed. I must say that coming up through the ranks, I really desired to work on stage.
Yeah.
And getting into the industry, realizing that there were so many challenges, financial challenges, not enough shows, not enough work, when you're starting out.
Yeah.
But the joy of the work keeps you going.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I like to look at it as my assignment, as my purpose, so to speak, to tell stories and to share with my audience, make them feel that whatever it is that they are going through, they are not alone. So that's the one thing that I'd say I enjoy the most about what I do.
Yeah. That sums up a good 10 years. That drive is everything. If that is the whole purpose of where you're here, you guys should see Saisi on stage. You will know that he was born to do this. Do you know, I have seen a couple of the plays you've been in, but when I was really sold, we were at Paramore, and then you gave a snippet of Drums of War. And I was almost like, where are we paying that next ticket so that we can come back, and see what. Yeah, so you guys, you do not want to miss a performance by Saisi. He gives it his everything.
Thank you.
He's all. So a big congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You look like 10 years on stage.
Thank you.
Yes. You look.
I clearly look that good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You look like This guy has done this
Oh,
over and over and over,
Asante.
and he knows what he's talking about. Leila, let's go back hapo. Kutoka Paramo. Wait, were you part of the cast of Drums of War?
Yes, I was.
Yes. How did you like that performance?
What? Drums of War.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You see, I think you remember a conversation that we had when we told you, since the play was back in the 1950s, around the colonial period.
Yeah.
I know for young people, of course, we were not there during that time.
Yeah.
So it gave us that feeling that, oh my God, whatever my grandmother was talking about,
Yeah.
it's actually something that happened, and these people actually went through trauma.
Yeah.
And we are always busy blaming these people. Oh, my grandmother was like this, my grandfather was like this, because these are the same people who actually raised our parents. No, it actually helped me understand why our parents are the way they are, because they were basically raised by people who are traumatized, by people who actually fought for independence. Because at what time were they supposed to take care of their kids?
I know.
And they were fighting.
Yeah.
So that one for me was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster of emotions. We actually had to go and de-roll after that whole play. We couldn't go home like that. We couldn't.
And we are going to delve a bit deeper into de-rolling, because that is I put a star on that question because it came up I think last Monday from another cast that we had an interview with, and it hit me. It's actually a big deal. Like de-rolling is actually a big part of being a great thespian, of being a great actor, of being a great actress. You need to know how to take off that coat and go back so that you can also put on another coat. Yes, and the thing is, if you're from Son of Man, you keep going. Like you're always moving on to the next. So you're going to talk about that in just a little bit, but allow me to do this. So you were in Paramo, you were in Drums of War.
Yes,
you have been in any other play from
Yes,
Son
I
of
was
Man?
in Lady in Red, part 1 and part 2. Yes.
How have you liked the experience, specifically working with Son of Man Productions? Because there are a lot of productions in this country. How have you liked, and what do you like exactly about working with Son of Man Productions?
The thing I love about working with Son of Man is about the growth.
Yeah.
Actually, as we were coming, I was telling him, oh my God, this year we have actually begun with a bang, because we have been all over the place, advertising, doing this, doing that. So we were telling each other, we are just amazed with the growth, because I can guarantee you, Son of Man is not the same way it was last year, and it's not the same way it was when we did Lady in Red. So you can actually see the growth. You can actually see the progress of the director, of even the cast member. There's no cast member of Son of Man is actually the same. Because there's no you can work with Marvin Kibicho and you remain the same. Like you can't. You can't. So it is challenging. He has a way of that man basically looks at you and he writes a role that forces you to get out of your comfort zone, which of course as an artist, it helps me grow and I cannot complain about it. So for me, it has been a roller coaster of emotions, and I have grown, and I am glad to be in Son of Man.
So a big up to Marvin Kibicho and the whole fraternity of Son of Man Productions. You guys, your cast is saying you're doing an amazing job, and because many times we may not get Marvin Kibicho here, we may not get the actual people that are pushing behind Saisi and behind Leila. We just want to say you guys are doing a great job. From if the plays that you put out are anything to go by, you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Yes, okay, let's go back to Saisi. Before we delve into the conversation of the day, you are also a poet. You're where at what point along the way did you realize? By the way, yes, a published poet. That's a big deal.
Thank you. I have always wanted to write. Let me say I've always had an intimate relationship with stories. Always wanted to read stories, listen to stories and tell them. I was always the storyteller in class. I was always the one gathering people around to tell them stories. Wacheke and then nienda kusoma usiku. But I think finding my way into poetry, I was looking for a shortcut, so to speak. Since I wanted to be a writer, a prose writer, but I discovered that poetry was like a shortcut to refining my skill. So it was a happy accident. And when I fell into it, I discovered that I could express myself, I could express my deepest, darkest fears, vulnerabilities in a way that I wouldn't in normal conversation. But poetry gave me that space to just go wild and express as fully as I could. And just grew from there. And meeting now the spoken word element of it, also another happy accident. I was just writing and writing and writing, and I had them replaying in my mind. So in campus one time, first year, I just stumbled upon some people with guitars singing and doing things. I was like, what's happening here? And they told me, yeah, we're doing art. Oh, I have a poem, can I do it? I'm like, yeah, do it. And the rest is history, you know.
But yes, well, a big one. my producer is on fire right now. He's had you talk about Spoken Hearts, and he is a big fan.
Oh yeah.
Like, yes, you should see him. Honestly, it's actually, I think, the biggest art fan that I know. You're doing amazing art. You and him, same what's up. Yes. So you met Spoken Hearts, and you stumbled upon spoken word poetry, and you've been doing it since. Can we hear something? It would be a great thing to have you here. I know we're here to talk about in sickness and in health.
Oh,
and I'm going to give you your airtime for that. But, Saisi,
it will be a great disservice.
It would be a great disservice to everybody. You know?
And you actually owe her one.
Thank you.
I actually do.
Please do. Yes.
There's only one, the one. It's so many 2s and 3s and 4s. And I have had my fair share of the proverbial frogs that I kissed in equal passion and measure. They left my tongue sour and my heart bitter. But maybe it took me this freckled, grave sourness for me to appreciate this overwhelming sweetness that life now gives me through you. And even in the life, after this life, I would still choose you. You are my rising sun. The musings of my heart and the music of your soul are the rhythm to the harmony that is our love. So let me love you. Let me love you until I get to say I know how it truly feels to have loved someone because I loved you. And when the time comes, let me kiss you as though I am dead and your lips are my second chance at life.
Lord, you see, are you understanding where it would happen? Also, is this Valentine inspired? Like, are you?
Well,
Najua hii mwezi. This is the month of love.
Oh goodness, this is it. Let me say this. Being that I'm just fresh off of my birthday, just literally yesterday. Thank you so much. I'd say in as much as it's Valentine's season, I personally am entering into a season of loving myself.
You are your own Valentine.
I am my own Valentine's until the Lord speaks, and I hope and know He will speak soon.
Yes.
So amen to that.
He better. And a lady should be on the receiving end of the action from those words. You know,
it's
not just the
fair.
lines, the action that follows the lines. He should be. But yeah, that is just a taste of what Saisi is able to do. Just, you know, ni vizuri tu, just to give you a snippet of what these artists are actually able to bring. Na hiyo ni saa hizi. Ukimpatia 3 minutes, akona zingine kama 8.
Taishi hapa.
We actually sit here for a moment. I feel like we have laid good ground. Now you know the kind of people that you're dealing with. You know the kind of talent that is on your screen. So let's talk about in sickness and in health. One, did we know about this when we were performing some Drums of War? Did we know that in sickness and in health was going to be the next play? Leila.
Yes, actually we did. Marvin has a way of telling you after Drums of War. He just told us, namkange mkijua. You know, he actually even, that's how he begins his statements. Namkange mkijua. Prepare yourself emotionally to actually tackle cancer. He actually talked about this last year, and he told us, guys, I would love us to do a play about cancer, because it's something that is actually plaguing the nation. And unfortunately, this is a disease that affects both genders. It affects all ages. Yes. You see, I'm sure you have seen kids who have leukemia, kids who have you've had all these things. And I think it's something in his heart, because we have a very close member of our family who passed on due to cancer. So it's something that is in his heart, something that is in my heart. We also have close friends. We have also lost close friends due to cancer. A very young girl, you know. So I actually looked at him and I told him, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want to do this? You know? And then he also integrated it, of course, with family issues, because the problem with cancer, Karen, is people always focus on the patient. They never focus on the family, like, how has this thing affected the family? You know, cancer always, it's a stage thing. Stage one, it actually goes in stages. And people, even me as a family member, of course I'll focus on the patient, but how has cancer affected the caretaker
around,
and the people
yes.
around, you know. And of course, during that time, you can't just focus on you just can't focus on the other people. You have to focus on the patient, you know. So I think that is the whole thing he wanted to integrate, and that's what he had to tell us actually during Drums of War. That prepare yourself emotionally. You think Drums of War is a roller coaster emotionally. Prepare for something.
From 1950 to the current situation.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. I think that I was asking that because I felt like this being as heavy as it is, the conversation about in sickness and in health, you needed some preparation.
Yes,
you needed to internalize even before you see what the story will look like. As I was telling you guys before we began, it feels like why? Like, because when you say cancer, it feels like everyone in the room can relate. If it's not a family member, it's a friend. It's not a friend, it's someone you see. And then this is not a men's thing, it's not a women's thing, it's not a kid's thing. You almost think this conversation, we should have had enough of this conversation by now. Why aren't we having enough conversations around cancer? Saisi?
I think there's the element of fear, a fear of the unknown, so to speak. And the play addresses this at length, that we'd rather just, you know, dig our heads in the sand and because the fear prevents us from even getting screened, knowing our status, knowing confronting it, so to speak. So the result of that is you only speak about it when it comes close to home. I was having a conversation with a friend and they told me a close family member was affected and it opened their eyes, and he confessed to me that his life literally changed. And you don't see it the same way. It's almost as though before you are in a bubble, and once your bubble burst, that's it. So indeed there's need for more conversation, and there's need for guys to overcome that fear, because again at the end of the day, the earlier you catch it, you know, the better. You know, so if we allow the fear to reign over us, then it's going to be too late.
Yes, because now we find out we do not have time, we do not have the mental preparedness, we are not anywhere close to actually being able to tackle this. And now it's here, and this is stage 3, and this is, you know, things are progressing, because the whole, like Saisi has said, the whole point of having these conversations is for us to be ready in every way, in every manner that matters, to actually know that it is not selfish to ask the family member, how are you guys doing actually? You know, because if we continue, if this trend continues, we're just getting worse and worse than anything. I think that this is a conversation that should be had. And the problem, like Saisi has said, when you're having this conversation, when it is right at home, we have already failed at step 1. We ought to have it when it was uko. If it happens, and we pray that it doesn't, we are at least better prepared. So then you were told you were going to do a play about cancer. What was your reaction towards this first script that you saw? So you're like, okay, so now tumemaliza Drums of War. Saisi is done rolling because it was heavy.
Oh my God.
Here's a nice heavy thing. I feel like Mami Kibicho.
Oh my God. And I love him so much. He's my brother. And I sometimes I tell him, challenge me. And then when the script arrives, I go, oh my God. I brought this upon myself. Why did I even say anything? Because Drums of War was heavy, but nothing could have prepared me for what in sickness and in health is. Because as Leila mentioned before, it's not just only about talking about the disease itself, it's also about the family dynamics and how they change as a result of, you know, having cancer in your, you know, in and around you. Especially the way my character is affected and his family relationships are affected. I really felt for him. I really did, and I feel that that heaviness. I don't know what I'm going to do about it after the show, but it changed my thinking. It changed my heart a bit. It opened me up to the reality of the situation, that people are actually carrying really heavy burdens. Especially the caregivers and the family members, how intensely they are affected and how their lives, you know, literally change forever. So that was my reaction when I read the script. It took my breath away, and immediately I was thinking, how am I going to be able to to do
actually
this.
do
You
this.
know, when you're talking about derolling and taking off the coat and putting on another, there's that, you have to draw that line very clearly between your own personal life and the character itself.
Exactly.
So that you don't lose part of yourself in the character, because that's very, very possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is heavy. This is a conversation that is heavy. But also knowing Marvin Kibicho's writing, it's not going to be all sobs.
Yeah.
You will not be crying from beginning to end. I promise that he has put people in there, blessed people in there that are going to make smile a bit. I know it's heavy conversations, but smile a bit. How long have you guys been at rehearsal?
Oh, we began early in January. Yeah, we began early in January. Like I told you, this play is all about it's so emotional. I got scared when I first saw the script, and I told Marvin at our first rehearsal, at our first reading, I told him, wow, like, are you sure? Like, I remember I called him and I asked him, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, are you sure? Because like I've told you, this is something that has affected us one way or another, directly or indirectly. And just like Saisi told us just one bit, I can't. Do you remember that time that HIV was like a serious pandemic in the country? You remember how people did not want to talk about it at all, and then now the stigma around that conversation. People didn't want to go get treated for HIV. People didn't even want to take the measure that they're being asked by doctors. Now, if you're going to go get tested, it does not mean you have it. It's just to be safe. I'm thinking it's like a repetition of what we had
of that. During the last time when I was preparing for this conversation with the other cast, it brought back that feeling in real time. Because it almost felt like I don't know whether it's just me or you guys, when we were younger, when those HIV conversations were being had on radio on afternoons. I don't know why it was just an afternoon. It's so sunny. It's so now we're talking about HIV. Like, it was so traumatizing just to even hear the news. But over time, like, look at us. We have come from so far. Yes, I mean, we might not still be there, but the fact that now we can actually talk about HIV and actually have that conversation without the stigma around it feels like a breath of fresh air. So if we can do the same for cancer, we are going to do this. And this should be even, I don't want to say easier, but HIV had its own difficulties because of even the way you contract HIV. Or there was all that stigma that for some reason cancer does not carry. Like the way that you get cancer, it's very different from the ways that were listed, the long list of HIV. So I think if we can be able to have this conversation at depth, we might actually be able to help. As you have mentioned, this conversation is tackling a lot about the people surrounding the person that has cancer. Are we dealing with what is going on with the person that has cancer themselves?
I think the writer was very intentional about alluding to the person who's dealing with the cancer itself, but mostly showing us how that journey was affecting their immediate family. So the play focuses really about the guys who are surrounding, the patient, and not really much about the patient themselves, but giving us the idea that as a family we have a responsibility to even make sure that we know our status as early as we can, or as often as possible, getting these frequent checks, making sure you're in shape, making sure that if anything is caught, it is caught early and therefore can be dealt with. So my character is dealing with the fact that he could also be affected, he could also have the cancer itself, but now the fear of it being a reality, and also him seeing how it has affected the family member. He's between a rock and a hard place. But then again, the only way to go for him is to seek out the truth and confront this monster head on.
Exactly.
You know,
and this is why I have endless love for Marvin Kibicho, because I feel if we are to progress the conversation on cancer, it's not really patient-based. It's us that are around, it's us who are affected. The people to have these conversations are most likely the people that are closest, and not necessarily the patient who is diagnosed with the disease. I think that was a brilliant take. Looking at it, I was almost, because I was like, okay, are we talking about the person who has cancer, what is going on with them, or the people around? But if our goal is to advance the conversation, the people around are a better angle than the patient themselves. Okay, so you have been in rehearsal for quite some time. How was that whole experience with cast and crew?
First of all, it's always awesome to see the gang back again. When you finish one play, it's always such a climatic experience, and after everyone is gone home, you're thinking, okay, when is the next one? I want it, I need it now. So when we had the confirmed dates and we had the confirmed rehearsal dates, excitement first of all. And then now reading through the script together, the early days of rehearsal, everyone just gasping and sighing just for the heaviness of the script itself. But I think it was more excitement in terms of we have something in front of us that is going to challenge us, and it's going to expand us as artists and also as human beings, because it's expanding our capacity for empathy, you know, because there's no way you can walk that journey and remain the same. And after even experiencing the script, you now have a greater respect, a greater understanding for guys who are dealing with the same. So I think us being a family, a Son of Man, always makes the story more than just a story. It's not now just about the play or the theater experience itself, but it's about who we are as human beings and how much we can grow and even help each other and help other people even from our audience become better human beings. You know. Exactly.
So when you attend this play, you're not just going to you are going to relate. You are going to come out of there with a very changed perspective, or a different perspective, or a bettered perspective, because I think it gets worse. Like the immediate affected people are clueless about what they are dealing with. Their friends that are supposed to be the support system of these direct people are even more clueless. So we become better humanity by watching In Sickness and in Health. So if you thought your ticket money was just buying some fun time, it's buying more than that. It's buying you perspective. And perspective in life is everything. So come watch In Sickness and in Health. Also, there is no interview about Son of Man that I don't ask what is wrong with Marvin. But really, he has
fair
to
question.
Pick In Sickness and in Health. The very wedding vows. Really? Really? Like, wait, was that a Marvin idea? Or it was a round table that you guys, that what should we call this thing? What sick thing can we call? Actually,
let me tell you the funny thing, because we have a group, of course, on WhatsApp. So before he actually came up with the title, the group was loading. Literally, that was the name.
That was the name
loading.
Of the group, loading.
That was the name of the group. So once we saw, and then this is the funny twist about the name. Like you have said, like it's like you picked it from the wedding vows. I also want you to look at it from this perspective. In sickness, the person was sick, and in health, as healthy people who have to deal with this sick. Are you understanding? And it also comes health-wise, physically, mentally, and also spiritually as a person, depending on your religion, because it is not one-based religion. Depending, you see. So it's basically the name touches on every single aspect of you being sick and also you being healthy. Yes.
I had not seen that perspective. I told you people, and I'm not even paid for the ticket yet. I told you because it was what came to my mind was my wedding vows.
That was the first thing.
You said in sickness and in health, and it's almost like, even when you're saying it during the wedding vows, it's almost like scary, like like you're crossing fingers. I am gonna say this, but I pray that this does not actually happen, because it changes everything. I think I have been around a close friend dealing with a kid that is anemic, and the struggle is, I just want to come there by them, because I need a perspective. And then because also I think the other thing I have realized about cancer and cancer patients all around, is that we tend to be there for a few times. You know, I can only be there so much. Like I can only be there at some point. I'm like, hey, nimekuwa kwa saisi every day this month, and then that is the time the next month is getting even worse. So even for us to get the patience, the perspective, the sympathy to actually be there all along, because this person is not taking a break, they are there. So I thought that is another perspective that we really need. If this is not calling you guys to come and watch In Sickness and in Health, I don't know what will. I really do not know what will. Okay, so then you moved on from the script and all the gasping and realizing this is heavy, putting in the work, becoming the people that need to tell this story, because hatuna script. We are relying, you are our script. We are relying on you to tell the story. Now that we are so close to actually the D-Day, how are you guys feeling about your preparedness to tell the story? Saisi? How prepared are you? How are you feeling?
I think this is the week that it's going to really dawn on me. I think when we resume rehearsal tomorrow, I think it's going to hit me anew. Because previously I've been working on the technical stuff, blocking, scaling, blah, 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 blah. But now at this stage, I think this home stretch, we are now going to go deeper into now, you know, the weight of the story, the underlying emotions. You have your blockings, you have your lines. So now, can we now see it come to life? So I think I'm feeling excited because now as an actor, the role is really, really challenging, and I like that because it's expanding me. And also, as a person, I'm excited for my audience, for our audience, because I feel like they're going to experience, I don't know what to call it. It's going to be a beautiful catharsis, because Marvin has given to us something that is going to make us cry, make us laugh, make us angry, make us frustrated, make us think. I mean, it's like, it's an all-round, you know, it's an all-round experience. And I'm very excited for it.
I'm also excited. I feel like if you have an emotional wheel, you just spin. Whatever emotion you land on, it's gonna be there. It's going to be on In Sickness and in Health. Leila, how are you feeling about your readiness to deliver?
Honestly, let me tell you, honestly, Karen, I'm scared. Let me tell you, I'm scared. I'm scared happy. You know that scared happy kind of feeling? Because I really want to do. I really love my role, because it's a firstborn daughter role, and we all know how firstborn daughters what they go through, especially in our African society. So oh my God, I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm excited. I'm excited at the same time. I can't even
she can put it to words. You have to come and watch In Sickness and Health to really understand. I forgot to ask a very important question. In relationship to the show, what roles are you guys playing?
Oh, I'm playing Diana, the first daughter of the family.
Okay.
Yes.
I have the misfortune of playing Elphas Wangombe. Mr. Elphas Wangombe is also the firstborn of his family. And I don't want to spoil anything.
I think they're telling you.
Relationship.
That's the only thing they're telling you.
I'm going to find a clever way to ask these questions. I'm going to find a more clever way to ask these questions. But till I do, that is what we have from In Sickness and in Health. We know we are talking about matters cancer and how to handle the whole situation. And like I said, do not be fooled. You're not going to be crying from minute 1 to an hour 30 or 2 hours. No, you're going to be having a bomb time. You're going to smile through it. You're going to cry. It's going to be a roller coaster of everything that is going to be there. Is there music in there?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes, we do have music.
We better, because I feel like you need to kidogo kutu console.
Don't worry,
we have some awesome songbirds. We have poetry.
Poetry.
Yes,
we do.
Yes. It's a proper buffet.
It's a proper buffet. If you're a plays lover, you know it needs to be a mix of, it's not every play, because every play has its own nature. But the once in a while where you get the buffet of everything, that's like the best served meal. So I want you guys to tell us the where, the when. And now, before we talk about that, let's talk about derolling. How do you guys go about derolling? Probably we will take from the examples of Drums and of War and Paramore and Lady in Red. But how do you guys go around about derolling?
Oh, we literally hold a party. no, literally, we come together, we cook together as a production, because basically we have become a family. We basically just choose one place, we come, we cook, we play games, we actually talk about our roles, how they affected us as people, and then that's, no, the good thing about derolling is you even tend to know more about your cast members, because we have this thing that, I'm just working, this is just my co-star. After I am done with this production, I'm not working with them again, or even if I work with them again, until next time, you see. But the good thing about derolling, it also helps you see the perspective of your co-star, of other artists. Like, so this is how you go about this. This is how you go about this. And I think that togetherness, especially as artists, since we understand each other, it helps you, you know, it helps you relieve you of that burden of life, that burden of the industry, and you're just yourself. So we cry a little if you have to cry. We laugh a little if you have to laugh. We play games, and by the time we are done,
like I should be called to those derolling things. The emotions you guys live here in studio.
You also need to come for one of them. Yes.
Okay, Karen, get over it. We are moving on.
Oh Lord, we are sorry.
Move on already, because of the picture I have of Tracy's from Drums of War. I think I have to attend.
You should.
Health, and then he traumatizes me with another image. And you see, we go on and on. So I should be called. Why is derolling important to an actor? And without it, do you think it would affect the next roles that come around?
I think that first of all, every actor has a different way of working and has a different way of getting into character and things like that. But from my own personal experience, it's you could either use the experiences of the character to display whatever emotions you need, or you could borrow some of your own experiences from your own actual life to now bring you the emotions you need. But whichever path you choose, it's important to know not to cross over. Because especially for Drums of War, there's a monologue there. I mean, he's a war veteran who's come back home, who's losing his family and all that. And when you get to backstage, you find yourself still crying. You're like, you're still there. It's over, the role is over, but for some reason,
you're still there.
You're still there. So I think it's so important to be able to see that line very, very clearly, so you don't lose yourself as even as a person. You don't lose yourself in that character. You know, because he's a different character. He's not you. You have to also realize that. You know, his trauma is not your own. You know, because I feel like theater is spiritual in as much as all art is. Theater is spiritual, and if you're thinking about it even in those terms, then you really need to like detach and say it out loud that I am not him. You know, and I feel like that's the most important part of derolling, so you don't lose a chunk of yourself.
Exactly. Because you know, I'm asking this because I have seen many actors and actresses that they themselves might not be stuck in that character, but we as the audience kind of get stuck. Because if you mention Karen, you do not remember. What you remember is art and culture. So apart from art and culture, she has done many other amazing things. But for some reason, this is the one thing. So it keeps, you know, people keep referring to Saisi as the man from the 50s. You know, and I feel like we need to detach. So I like that you have a method, but also like Saisi has said, because the party is going to end. We're going to have a lovely time. But Leila needs to find out how by the way do I take off that coat?
Am I still intact?
Exactly. Am I still intact?
And actually, Karen, sometimes it takes quite a while. Like the Paramore role I played. Do you know it took me a month? It took me a month to get out of that Abby character. Because and it's actually our stage manager who pointed it out, and she told me, Leila, what is going on? So I asked her what. She told me, you do realize you're still behaving like Abby. I was like, no, come on. We had that show like a month ago. So she told me, no, I need you to sit down. And she actually pointed out times that I have acted like that character. And I sat down, Karen, and I asked myself, wait a minute, that is not Leila. That is Abby. So I had to sit down and literally start saying it to myself. I kid you not, Karen. I stood in front of a mirror and I said, now, Layla, you are Layla, you are not Abby. I had to do that for like a week until I came back to my senses. It's crazy.
So sometimes the character can refuse to leave you alone.
You know, for Drums of War, the character was named after me. So it's like, no, that's Peter, the character, and this is Peter Saisi.
So it's even harder because Peter, the character, the person, all of you are in there. So this is for actors and actresses, and I know you guys watch this show, so just let you know to draw the line. I think what we are saying is draw the line between your character and you as a person.
I think also just to add one more statement, I'd say as well, for the actor, expose yourself to at least different characters every other time. So once you're done a very heavy dark character, go on the other side and do something different, expand the range so you don't get stuck in a certain
so that now you're not a murderer in everything. In every play that you are the guy that murders people. And also that I think improves versatility.
You're the guy that murders people.
You could take on those back to back, and then when we see when you're like that one's about to kill someone. So move on. Be versatile.
True.
And thank you for bringing out that, because also that also expands your range as an actor. So you can be able to do many things, therefore you're not stuck to one specific person. Okay, nice conversation. Give us the when, the where, the dates, and the tickets.
In sickness and in health, the Kenya National Theatre, Kumbi Mdogo. We are on 10th and 11th of February, basically this weekend. And we have 2 shows for each of the days. We have shows at 3 p.m. and shows at 6 p.m. And we have tickets right now at 1,300 bob. Hey, are you going to tell them the rest?
Actually, there's not much to say. You can also get them at mook.com. Yes.
Exactly. So I think I have repeated this and I will do it once again. The 10th and the 11th. For me, a Valentine Day. Stop waiting for 14. Not. Get your tickets right now. 1,300 for advanced single tickets and 20 couple tickets.
Oh, couple tickets, it's 2,100, right?
2,100. So ukipata mpoa tunakusevia transport. Okay? So come the 10th and the 11th. And I like the placements because if you're not available on Saturday, you can be available on Sunday. If you work during the day, you can still chuck off work and be there for the 6 p.m. show. And you're still going to have an amazing time. Whichever show. Oh, that's another thing that you need to take back to Son of Man Productions, Makofi, because all the shows that are there are equally well done. I get the raha of the last show, like you're done, but each of the shows you guys give it your all, and I like that. So whichever show you will be able to attend, you're going to have a fantastic time. So Kenya National Theatre, Ukumbi Mdogo, the 10th and the 11th, basically this Saturday and this Sunday, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Get your tickets at mook.com. To just type in mook.com, then look for A Son of Man Productions in sickness and in health. Grab your ticket, and like I said, I'm gonna be there because Beryl is on my neck. She literally said she's going to come here in studio to just look at me and then go away. These are the people I'm dealing with.
That is so good.
They are sold to their art, and so for that reason we are going to watch In Sickness and in Health. So for me, hii weekend ni hiyo. Could you kindly invite people as you give your social media handles?
Okay.
Leila.
Okay, my social Instagram handle is Leila _Kare_. I'm also a chef, like I had said before. Tafadhali kujeni show. This is going to be amazing. I remember last time I told you guys I have to bring Saisi. Finally. I have shared. And I've actually...
The posters I have of Saisi coming to
oh my God.
are very many. So he owes us every time Son of Man has a production and Saisi is in it. That is the one.
That is it. So karibuni show tafadhali. I can guarantee you're going to get something out of this, spiritually, physically, emotionally. You might even get healed from trauma. So kujeni show, karibuni.
Thank you very much. Saisi.
Guys, my social media handles, Saisi on Facebook, on YouTube as well, On Instagram, it's Saisi Poet.
Yes.
Of course, apart from acting, I do poetry. I have, we are hopefully launching the 3rd book.
Yes.
Hopefully before the year ends.
Yes.
So to close up the poetry series, the SCAD poetry series.
Yes.
Other than that, you come to the show, guys. I promise you, you're going to have a beautiful time. It's with family, and especially also being the Valentine season. Who knows? You might also meet someone.
Come to.
Exactly. you can find your in sickness
Yes,
in
in the midst of all that.
In the midst of all of that. Have you guys realized Saisi just said you will get a book before the year ends? Saisi took October.
Hey,
he's behaving like we are in October. We are in Feb.
Yes.
So are you going to come around? We talk about your poetry?
Definitely.
Yes. Could you make time and actually promise? Because those are, apart from thespian, those are our other favorite kind of people.
Yes.
Spoken word artists.
Yes.
Just come. Acha tusome hizo vitabu tusikie vizuri.
I think now in the presence of witnesses, basically the whole nation,
Thank
I am promising that I shall come.
Thank you. You are most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Let's listen to those amazing pieces that you have put down.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being part of Son of Man Productions, for agreeing to be for lack of a better word, the guinea pigs to bring us in sickness and in health, for carrying raw emotions, for putting your lives in the line to tell a story. Thank you so much. You guys are doing amazing.
Awesome.
And like I told you, the best thing that you can do, the way you can rudisha mkono, is by getting that ticket. All right? Get that ticket, buy yourself a ticket, 1,300 bob. It is really not much. And then waka time too. So Saisi and I and Leila know umelipwa. We know you have money. So get your 1,300 bob, get yourself a ticket, and come to the Kenya National Theatre this Saturday or this Sunday, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Tickets are on sale right now at mook.com. So kimbia pale, but right about now we put a comma on our conversation, on our first conversation of the day. Thank you for being here. There is a bit of feedback. Let me get to it. Beryl is on. Good morning, Karen. Tuning in live. Thank you, Beryl. I know she was listening to everyone. Asante sana. We're coming back with more comments, but right about now, ladies and gentlemen, we want to take a short break. I'll see you on the other side of the break.